say. "50 years of James Bond." They show Sean Connery, the real James Bond, on the front, and they showed this new guy, Daniel Craig, on the back.
The real James Bond.
See, it's a generational thing.
James Bond is Ian Fleming wrote James Bond.
There's a new James Bond movie coming out in early November, in case you've not heard, if you happen to be a James Bond fan. What do you do with James Bond?
Supposed to be the savior. Every time he gets put in life situations.
He does. I mean, he's always in precarious situations, life and death situations, and he always manages to get out because that's how the scriptwriter wrote it. And sometimes some of the ways he gets out of those things aren't even logical. Mythbusters, if you guys ever watch that, they've done some James Bond things and found out, you can't do that. That's not even possible. It violates the laws of physics, probably the laws of numerous states. But he's always in a precarious situation, and always somehow, and often almost miraculously, gets out. Can you relate to that? Most of us in our lives, now we might not be in the sort of situation, in fact, none of us are in the situation James Bond is, but there are times and situations in our life that are precarious. Sometimes physically, medically, emotionally, spiritually, where we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And we have no idea what to do and where to go and how are we going to get out of it. It's going to take a miracle. Not only do the scriptwriters have some of those, God has the real ones. God can provide the miraculous deliverance from those precarious situations of life. When you've reached that point where you don't know what to do, God does. When you've reached that point that you don't know how to pray. We talked about that just earlier this week. Sometimes you get to that point where things in life have you so burdened or so frustrated or so confused, you don't even know what words to say. You just open up your heart and God does what needs to be done. God meets those needs. Think about that. Next time you see a good old Sean Connery James Bond movie, or even if you see one of the new guy.
What?
Think about that. God brings us out of our precarious situations.